make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up.
Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. We've got the post-game show as Texas traveled to Tuscaloosa, took on Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. And, dude, that game, it felt like a home game because the crowd didn't get to us. The stage wasn't too big for Quinn. The
No.
running game had some problems, but at the end of the game, they showed up and did what they needed to do. The defense was spectacular.
Bro, the defense looked really good.
Hey, man, I'm going to be honest. I was doubting the Longhorns in this game, mostly because it was in Tuscaloosa. Yeah, Logan picked them. He did. I knew the skill was there, right? I had no question the skill was there. I mean, we saw what they did last year in Austin. The question was, how does Texas travel? You know, in that first year under Sark, we didn't travel well at all. I think we were like 1-6 that year on the road. Last year was better, but I didn't think we came enough of a ways to travel to Bama, take on Nick Saban, and dude, we handled business. Texas gets the win, 34-24. Appreciate y'all checking in with us. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel for more pregame and postgame shows. Just give me your first initial thoughts on what you were able to see.
Okay, so for the viewers, I just told Christian I wasn't able to sit down and watch the game until about 7 minutes left in the third quarter. But first thing I noticed, if you go back to the pregame video and listen to what I said about Alabama's DBs, especially Kool-Aid McKinstry, they're not the best. First play I see, Jatavian Sanders is absolutely burning Kool-Aid McKinstry. And I'm just like, wow. Maybe I kind of know what I'm talking about here and there sometimes.
Yeah. Kool-Aid, he had a pretty good play in the first half. It was in the end zone or near the end zone because I remember I was telling Sydney that his first name was Kool-Aid. So he wasn't always getting burnt, but yeah, that I know what play you're talking about, and that JT Sanders definitely made a great play on the ball.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was the leading receiver just with 5 receptions for 114 yards. He didn't score a touchdown, but he got y'all there for sure.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot hidden there, and his blocking. I will say early in the game there was a couple plays where there was a lot to be left out on the field as far as JT Sanders in the run game blocking wise. But late in the game when they even showed a replay because he was blocking fantastic. Talking about the receiving game, obviously we'll talk about the passing game before you talk about the receptions. Quinn Ewers, it was in this game last year, guys.
Bro.
It was in this game last year when Quinn said, we said, oh, hold up. This guy, he might be about something.
Yeah.
Now, Casey, he texted me. He said, Quinn for Heisman. I said, hold up. Wait a minute. I don't know about all that yet. I mean, thinking about it in my head, Shadur Sanders is going to be hard to get past.
He's already over 900 yards. He's at 910, I think.
I think Quinn, I think he might be over like 6. But
not bad at all.
It's not. And you got to think we played Bama, they played TCU and Nebraska.
He's only a second-year starter, and he played freaking great tonight, dude, against Alabama. Like, it's Alabama. I don't care what they lost last year. It's still Alabama. They're still going to have the top people. And if they don't have the top, they have at least the top 3. Because the top 3 usually go Bama, Georgia, Texas. In whatever
as far as
order.
Recruiting stuff.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State. Like Oklahoma, the big brands, it's all the same ones. Yeah. And they usually get the majority of them between them and Georgia on the defensive side anyways. So they're going to have players. Kool-Aid McKinstry, he's very inconsistent. That's why I say that. Like I said in the pregame, he's like Trevon Diggs. And I'll just leave it at
that. Quinn Ewers, 24-38, 349 yards, 3 touchdowns, and this is the key, 0 interceptions. Now, for those of you who watched the whole game, you know there's a little bit of luck involved here. We had a 4th down conversion where Quinn went under center. The ball was snapped, hit him in the chest, pops out the back. Baxter's there to pick it up. or Brooks, I think it was.
Yeah, it was
Picks
Brooks.
it up, gets the first down. Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. All right.
Yeah, true.
Sometimes a little bit of luck is what you need to get. I will say, personally, I think this game could have actually been more of a runaway. I probably saw 5 or 6 like obvious holding calls that did not get called. And I'm like, hey, that happened last year. We lost last year. This year we were able to overcome it. Our running game was pretty lackluster, if you will. And it kind of scared me towards the end of the game. I was telling my dad, I was like, man, we get the ball back with like, I don't know, 5.5, almost 6 minutes left. And I'm like, man, they've got 3 timeouts. In order for us to waste all this clock, we're going to have to get a couple first downs. And on the ground, it was every time we got to third down, I looked at him, I said, do we throw the ball?
I mean,
like,
dude,
just a high percentage kind of completion screen, whatever. Even if you just have Worthy come in motion, you do a little pop pass. But we didn't. We ran the ball. Sark trusted our guys, and this is key. He trusted everybody up front to do their job, and he trusted the running back to do his job, and it worked. And that's when you're a team and you can trust the person next to you to just do their job. You focus on your job. Yeah, we were able to do what we needed to do late in that game. You know, we scored, I was just telling Logan, we scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. That's a lot different than the Texas team we've seen in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
The Texas team we've seen in the last 2 years, it's halfway through the third quarter where we have no offense. It's halfway through the third quarter where the game is, we start biting our nails, but ooh, they scored again. We went 3 and out. They scored again. Oh, we got a first down. Then we punt the ball. Scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. The way we did, too, there were some big plays, right? We had a 7-yard pass, a 5-yard run for a touchdown, and then a 39-yard pass. But there were some big plays that maybe didn't score. I think JT Sanders had that 50-yard. Jay Witt had that really big, I think it was like a 44-yard reception. Man, the offense did what I needed the offense to do. Yep. Let's go on to the side of the ball that I actually think won this game.
For sure.
Okay? Because let's be real, scoring 34 against Bama is hard. Keeping Bama under 34 is harder. And I know we're all kind of thinking, well, Christian, I don't think Jalen Milroe is all that great, but we're going to talk about it. Before we do,
I don't know if that's a popular opinion necessarily.
I think it is. I think a lot of people thought Ty Simpson was going to be the starter. And we'll see now what ends up happening, because now Milroe, in the only 2 big games he played was A&M last year and Texas this year. He's thrown 5 interceptions in those 2 games.
He threw 2 tonight.
He threw more than 2 tonight.
I mean, yeah,
he only caught 2, but he threw more than 2.
I mean, that last one, I want to say it was Barron that caught that last one. It's like he just stared at the receiver the whole time, and Barron's just right there.
Yeah, it was Thompson.
Oh, that one was
Jade Barron got the first one. And then we saw Jalen Ford drop one. That sucks. He's got 7 turnovers in the last 8 games. That was going to be 8 turnovers in the last 9. So that kind of sucked. Ron Watts had just a great ball. Jalen Milroe if Jalen Milroe puts that ball 3 inches higher, it's a perfect pass. But you see Ron Watts in his 6'3" frame. Dive, almost goes parallel with the ground and gets his hands on the ball. Was able to make it an incomplete pass. So we love to see.
Yeah, I got a PBU on that one.
Yeah. We love to see that. Texas's defense stood up to the test in the trenches. Everybody who's anybody about college football knows the game is won and the game is lost in the trenches. 2 years ago, when we go to Fayetteville and lose to Arkansas, it's because we lost in the trenches the whole game. Last year, we had a great chance against Bama, but in the trenches, the trenches were better, which, remind you, last year our offensive line was pretty great, but it was that pass rush. We lacked it.
Yeah.
We got some sacks last year, but what did we get this year? Was it 6? Did we get 6 sacks in this game?
5.
5 sacks. Anthony Hill had 1.5.
1.5.
Ethan Burke had 1. Tavondre Sweat had 1. Jeray Bledsoe had half, and David Benda had 1. Ethan Burke, he was all over the place. Anthony Hill, man, as a true freshman, not even just having a big play in this game, he played so much of this game. And if you saw, they were using him as the QB spy.
Yeah.
They were trusting him to QB spy this man, and he did his thing and made it work, and that was awesome.
And even whenever he was lined up on the edge, he's agile enough to duck under those blocks like he did against the true freshman left tackle for Alabama that last sack. No, the first sack that I saw, anyways. It's whenever he stepped up in the pocket and he was able to duck down under the left tackle and wrap around and get the sack while he was trying to scramble. It's like, dude, this guy is fast to be able to catch him like that.
Hey, that was a great sack, but I'm going to have to say the best one of the day was David Benda. David Benda shoots through the A gap, gets cut down, falls to the ground, gets up, and goes and gets the quarterback.
Man, I mean,
all around insane play.
The defense played great. The only part where I was like, all right, this might get a little iffy is like whenever both teams scored 4 touchdowns total in 4 minutes when it was back to back to back to back. I was like, oh man, this is about to turn into a shootout. And I mean, I was confident in y'all. I told you, I want to say it was earlier today whenever we were at work. I told you, like, man, for some reason, I'm just confident in y'all today.
Yeah, you said it. I didn't know why. I was like, hey, but I hope you're right. Don't get me wrong, but dude. Now we'll go over some Bama stats. Milroe, 14 of 27, 255, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's just barely above 50% completion. 2 interceptions. They hurt. They were in bad situation, bad time. The running game, they had basically the same day we had 107 yards rushing. We had 105. Receiver 568 was their best. I will say that Jermaine Burton, I'm surprised he only had 2 catches for 58 yards. Seemed like he was all over the place.
Yeah, I was hearing his name a lot in the second half.
Yeah, they had 5 passes defended, broken up. No interceptions. We fumbled the ball like 3 times that game and didn't lose any of them.
Now, was that all like running backs or how'd that go? Because I didn't see any except for the one with, I guess, Quinn's right there on that 4th and 1. I guess that's considered a fumble.
Yeah. I don't know how I'd go to see exactly who. I know one of them was on Quinn, which was technically a muff, not a fumble, and then a pass, right? No, picked up and ran. So that play is actually interesting because if Quinn grabs the ball and fumbles, then the play wouldn't have stayed. It would have been Alabama's ball.
Yeah.
Because on 4th down, right, on 4th down, if you fumble, only you can pick it up and advance it. So the way that played out was pretty great. I want to say Baxter fumbled.
Okay.
But we got it back. I want to say Jatavion Sanders fumbled on the sideline at the end of the game, and we got it back because it went out of bounds. No. I think Jaden Thompson on that interception, I think he fumbled it, but it went out of bounds, so we got to keep it. Something like that. Okay. So we didn't do our fair share in keeping the ball off the ground. We got to work on that next week. We had some lucky bounces once again. Sometimes it's better be lucky than good.
Yeah, that's for sure. Man, how about that pass didn't swat it down and Quinn catching it himself?
Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah. They gave him a catch on that. I didn't know how they would put that down in the stats, but he had 1 catch for 3 yards.
This shows Adonai Mitchell fumbled as well, and we got that one back. So maybe Jatavion didn't or Brooks didn't. Yeah, if you throw it and catch it, yeah, it's a completion for what?
Most quarterbacks are just taught to just drop at that or bat it down at least.
Most quarterbacks are pansies. This is the quarterback for the University of Texas. You go get you 3 or 4 yard reception. Put it on a stat line.
Okay, so if that was Malik, is he getting a first down?
Touchdown.
Oh, touchdown.
Yeah, Malik, 6'6". Malik, he catches that ball. He's stiff arming like Derrick Henry and scoring.
I feel like 100%. I want to watch Malik and
hurdling somebody
and Sanders race, like side by side.
See who's faster.
Yeah, because I feel
Whoever
like they
wins is
run
the
the
starting
same.
tight end next week.
Put him at DN for a minute. Actually, wait a minute.
No, put him at tight end and let Jatavion Sanders play DN. JT Sanders was a 5-star DN too, basically. He was a 5-star athlete who played DN and tight end in high school.
That's tough.
And he came to Texas because he wanted to play offense. And we were like, you can play whichever side you want to, man. When you're that good, you can choose. Yeah, man, it was a great game to watch. There was some moments where you're sitting there like, what's about to happen? They score, we answer. I looked at my dad. I said, hey, if they score on offense, it don't matter as long as we scored it. Who cares if they score? It's Alabama. You can't expect to keep them from scoring. But as long as we're answering, it don't matter. They scored, we scored. We get the ball right back. 15 seconds, we scored again.
Yep.
Then they scored again, unfortunately. And our offense was clicking by that point. We went and scored another touchdown. Played some great defense. Nick Saban calling timeouts with 5, almost 6 minutes left in the game.
And Sarkisian being able to game plan like past that was crazy.
I looked at my dad. Whenever we got that fake on 4th and 1, got him to jump.
Mm-hmm.
You almost never see that work.
No.
You almost, because they know what you're trying to do. They know you don't want to snap that ball.
Oh yeah,
And
that
to get a discipline. I say discipline. They were not disciplined. They weren't disciplined last
year. They
year.
had 10 penalties for like 90 yards or something.
15 last year against us.
How many of those were defensive holding or pass interference? Because I vaguely remember it was pretty bad last year for that.
I don't remember how many last year, but I mean, first of all, any Texas fan that tweets that we're back, just take all your burnt orange outside. You ain't no Texas fan. Don't you tweet that. We ain't back. One game does not equal being back.
One of those Walmart fans.
We got to go out, handle business next week. We got Baylor in week 4, and hey, Baylor showed today that they are not backing down just because they've got some injuries. They're not backing down just because they're 0-2. Baylor's going to be a tough game. Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas Tech fought hard today. Dude. Yeah. Texas Tech fought hard today. Season is long from over. We've got a target on us. We've got work.
You got one now.
So, with that being said, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. This kind of content y'all like to see. Make sure y'all are subscribing to the channel, leaving comments in the comment section telling us what next week we play Wyoming. How much y'all think the spread's gonna be on that? Maybe like 21 and a half, something like that. Let me know what y'all think.
17.
17?
Probably.
It won't be a whole number. It'll be a half. Whole numbers are for trashy teams like Utah. So let us know what y'all think the spread on that would be and what the score. Give us a score prediction for that one. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Until next time. Welcome.
Hook 'em.